Hey, welcome back to another episode of 30 Plus Click with Max and Yo-Yo. Today we are talking about something wonderful. Um, you know, I have a friend and she always says this. She says, I'm so grateful because I lucked out in having some of the most amazing female friendships of my time. Like we gel with each other, we work closely to each other, we are all about each other's benefits and each other's progress. There has been no cat fights, there has been no chit chat, and there has certainly been no backstabbings involved. And so today, with that premise, we're going to be talking about the values that you should consider or that is very important when you are picking your friendships. And of course, you might decide to apply this to your relationships if you feel so inclined. But today we are speaking mostly from the vantage point of selecting friends. What are the values to keep in mind? And with that said, I'm going to put down the mic and let Yo-Yo take it away.
Hi, people. Nice to be on your space again today. And so, when we think of values, we're also thinking about characters. We're also thinking about traits. We're also thinking about things that are important to you. So, I also like to point the spotlight on you first because you cannot give what you don't have. So, if you want somebody to show you love, do you have love? So you need to have those nice values that you're willing to receive to also give. And so in as much as we want to look at the characters, the values in healthy relationship, because there can be some unhealthy relationships. So but today we're talking about a healthy relationship. Maybe next week we can also talk about the unhealthy relationship or healthy unhealthy friendship. And so when we think of values, we're thinking of those things that are important to you. And so I like to say that personally, I love people that are truthful. Just say it the way it is. No matter how bad or how cruel it is, I think I can bear it. I can take it rather than, trying to cook up story to pass a point, trying to paint a fake picture just to get what you want. Honesty is still my prime number one value. And have I been honest to people? Yes, I'm a very honest person. I'm a very blunt person. Well, trying not to make it too blunt because that way you can have real friends because it's very important to have good friends. So if it's just one is enough rather than having 100 friends that all your friends and plus you're all dishonest. So honesty, it's one value for me. Max, what's yours?
I totally agree. And, I always, for me, when I'm picking friendships, I'm always very interested in making sure that we have common interests. Common interest in things that we can talk about, in things that we both share, things that we both like, things that we both like to do, because that means that we're going to enjoy doing them together, and so that's something that I find very interesting when I'm making friendships, and for me, I have different friends for different things, not all friends are for everything. And I think that once we start to get to the point where we can delineate what this friend is for, based on common interests, it helps to declutter some of the unrealistic expectations that we can have on people, right? Sometimes. So for me, one of the very first thing that I consider is, what do we share in common? What do we both like? What do we like to talk about? I'm a very sports inclined person. I like football. You might call it soccer. I'm starting to get into basketball now. I don't know a lot about it, but I met some people that seem to can't shut up about it. So whenever I need to learn more, they're always there and they're very enthusiastic about that. So when I have this kind of crew, I know this is what we're talking about. When I'm with friends, I'm also a girly girl, right? I like makeup, I like to dress up, I like fashion, and so I have girls that, love that stuff. So that's where we are able to bond on what's the next thing coming out, what is the next beat, what's the next style, what is this and that and the other. And I'm also a Jesus girl. Don't play, okay? Don't play. I'm a Christian through and through, unabashed, okay? And so I have people in my circle that are like unabashed as well. And so when we get together, we pray, we speak the word, we feed each other. So understanding which friend is for what, I think that is very important to me, and that is how I make sure to not put unrealistic expectations on people. I don't know. Do you want to go again?
Oh yeah, that's very, very important. Yeah, common interest. For me, I also like to have friends that I can learn from. Yeah, I think I know a little bit of some things, but sincerely, I don't know everything. And so I like to be in a space where I can learn from people. So yeah, so if I'm not learning from you and you're not learning from me, it makes that friendship very, very uncomfortable because why are we here? You cannot learn from me, I cannot learn from you. So, well, you just make that friendship just slip into the drain. I'm not shy about that. That's one point for me, Max.
Yeah, and I think another important thing to care about is the person's all-round character. I'm in my one of my values, like Yo-Yo said, is honesty. I don't think that there is any reason why an adult human person should open their mouth wide and tell lies for no reason. Like, I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to, like, I'm not in a position to, like, do any kind of thing to you. So, like, if you're going to say something, let your word be your bond. Let it be to the point where if someone comes and says, hey, Max said this, and I will be able to say, and so standing on business, I believe what she said is true because I know your character to be that. You understand? But at the same time, you also cannot give what you don't have. So you have to be an honest person yourself because I think an African adage we have says birds of the same feathers flock together. So you have to check yourself. Check if you find that the people around you are sketch. Check yourself. You might be sketchy. Because why would you be attracting sketchy people? So that's one thing. But another thing, I think I just want to circle back to a point that Yo-Yo made at the beginning. I just didn't get to talk about it when it came up, is being able to receive as much as you give. And now I'm not just talking about it in terms of you know um giving in the general sense of the word, but receiving in terms of being able to, when the spotlight is turned on can you receive criticism? Are you the kind of person that can be able to take it? Because that takes a certain level of maturity to get there so that your friends can be able to tell you the truth about yourself so that they don't have to lie to your face, right? Being able to receive, truth helps people be more honest in your presence, and it helps people grow together. And so for me, that is one thing in tandem, they work hand in hand. So it's something that I will always continue to grow in. As a human being, you will always continue to grow your bandwidth to be able to receive criticism, of course, in love, but also always making sure that you have a healthy space where people are able to be truthful and where you are able to receive as well.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. Lastly, one thing I would like our 30 plus community to think of is your love language. Love language is not just limited to a relationship that is tending towards marriage or you're dating someone. Yes, among friends, you need to know your love language. And so when you know your love language, don't be shy to communicate that love language to your friends, whether they are guys or ladies. Communicate your love language to your friends. The truth is, your friends, they are not the Holy Spirit that will know it. So when you communicate it, then they will know how to, you know, treat you specially or treat you differently, and also to avoid issues because, expectations not met can always, always bring friction to relationships. So know your love language, communicate your love language, and enjoy your healthy friendship. Max?
My final thought is independence. I love people who are able to have a life outside of their friendship. That when we're alone, we're okay. But when we're together, it is amazing. And one of the things that I've always found very icky is when people just are too clingy. And that's just me. That's just me. Maybe that might be your thing. Okay, take this with a grain of salt. But my thing is, I love independent people. You're your own person. I'm my own person. We recognize that we are all on two individual races, working towards two individual goals. But when we meet, we walk towards a common goal. And so there is that freedom for me to be myself outside of a relationship or a friendship in this case, and then there is that space where we can still come together and make magic. And I think that is very important because sometimes I think the lines blur when people have unrealistic expectations, especially as we become adults, as we start to have our own priorities that we must take into cognizance. You need to give people the independence to be themselves while keeping that healthy space for us to come together and have communion. And that was my final thought. Once again, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for, making a date with us. Yo-Yo, I wonder if you want to give the outro this time.
Oh,
Tell
of
them what it's 30 plus quick.
Yeah, always excited to say goodbye because goodbye is not really bye, bye, bye. It's always another points to connect again. And so thank you for all the times you've listened to our channels. For those that have gone beyond and above to drop a comment, to like, and also to share. Thank you so much. And soon, very soon, we'll start giving a special shout out. And please, we love you to send the links to other of your friends so that they can subscribe. And if we've blessed you in any way, leave it on the comment. And so we look forward to sharing your space again next week. And to then have yourself a wonderful day from 30 Plus Click. Take care. Bye.
Bye.